What's going on, stackers? So before I get started, I just want to say thank you and congratulations for clicking on my very first video I've ever uploaded onto this channel. This channel is going to be dedicated towards stacking silver, stacking gold, a little bit of intel on where the market's heading. So if you're into that kind of thing, feel free to stick along because I'll be uploading regularly. So this video in particular is going to be about stacking silver for beginners in 2023. So if you are an experienced stacker, this might not be a video for you. However, if you are new to the stacking game and you just don't know where to get started, you don't know where to buy it, things like that, I'm going to go over all that in this video, and I do wish I had this video when I first got started. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the first question, which is what is stacking? So there's two types of metal collectors, right? You have stackers and you have collectors, okay? Stacking is when you're going to be gathering or essentially hoarding as much gold or silver as you possibly can for the cheapest price possible. Okay, it's kind of for that doomsday event, if you will. Okay, so then collectors, those are individuals that are going to be looking for gold or silver that have a lot of history. They're very specialized coins. They have really cool years. Typically, those coins do cost more money and they have higher premiums. We're going to steer clear of those ones. We're going to be focusing solely towards stacking silver. Okay, how to get as much as possible. So the first question is it a good investment? Well, it depends. Okay, so if you're getting into this game because you want to buy a bunch of silver and then turn around and flip it for a profit in the future, I would personally advise against that. The main reason is gold and silver is a hedge against inflation. Okay, so it's protection against the US dollar. Essentially, it's just a safe haven. So if the US dollar lost a lot of its value and it started hyperinflating, you would be protected with gold and silver. So if the price of gold and silver skyrocketed and then you turned around and sold it for that paper money, well, essentially it's kind of defeating the purpose of getting into gold and silver. So again, the main reason is because it's a protection against the US dollar that you want to stash away into that safe. Okay. So the very first thing you'll notice when you go to a website to buy your first silver is you'll see a thing at the top of the screen called spot price. So what spot price is it's the material melted down price. You'll see a spot price for gold, silver, platinum, and palladium. Okay. So if you were to melt down that metal, that's the current price of what it goes for. However, you'll see a lot of the coins are going for much more, right? So they might, spot price for an example might be at $22. However, a coin is selling for $30. So that $8 difference, we call that premium, okay? So anything over spot price is considered premium. So you might be wondering, why is there a premium? And basically, it's because people have to take that melted silver, stamp it down into a coin, polish it, pay their employees, everything else, and that cost gets carried down to you, the consumer that buys the coin. So even though there is a premium on all coins that you buy, it's universally known in the stacking community, and that's okay. So that being said, you might notice that silver eagles, for an example, cost much more than Canadian silver. And why are the silver maple leafs so much cheaper? Well, it's simply just because the United States government has put a large premium on the silver eagles. Does that make them better? Not at all. Okay, so again, you're trying to find the lowest premium silver you can per ounce for the most bang for your buck, essentially. Now, that being said, if you did buy a bunch of obscure silver, for an example, let's say you bought 100 coins that had Bugs Bunny on it, okay? Yes, it's still silver. However, you got to think later into the future, if you ever try to go in and sell it, a lot of store owners, they want to try to make a profit on a coin by selling it for a premium, and they might have a hard time trying to convince somebody to buy 100 Bugs Bunny coins, okay? So I try to stick with the basic essentials, which are going to be, your American Eagles. Even though they cost a little bit more, they're more liquid. You can sell them easier. But also, your buffaloes or your Indian heads. You also have the British Britannias and things like the Canadian maple leafs. Okay, those are kind of my personal staples. So this brings us to the next point. Where is the best place to buy coins? Okay, so there's a lot of credible, great websites out there that sell gold and silver and precious metals. Now, the ones I personally like to stick to because I notice they usually have lower premiums, they have great delivery services, and they're credible are going to be monumentalmetals.com, you have sdbullion.com, and you also have buygoldandsilvercoins.com. These are my three essentials. I usually will click on these websites, compare prices, look at the spot price, and see where I can get my biggest bang for my buck. Now, that being said, if you do have local coin shops around your house, I always do recommend that. It's always nice to support the local community. But one thing I would do is give them a call and see what they're asking for an ounce of silver. So now that you know how to find the spot price, you can look at the spot price on a website and see and compare it to coins that are selling online and see if it's a good value. Because a lot of times these local shops will actually give me better than what I can buy online. So I always decide to go through them and support them as well. Plus, you don't have to pay for shipping, handling, and things like that. Well, that about wraps it up for this video. I know there's a lot more information, but that's about as much as I could pack into this video. If you guys do have any questions, leave a comment down below and I'll try to get back to them as soon as I can. But yeah, if you like the content, just let me know what you'd like to see. Leave a comment and I will see you in the next video. Take care.